There are beautiful homes in Naples, and then there are homes that give you access to a lifestyle people spend years trying to find. Because what if you didn't have to choose between being close to everything you love about Old Naples and having the privacy, space, pool, and comfort you want when you come home?
At 742 11th Avenue South, you may be able to have both. And that is something else about this beautiful property that smart buyers make you recognize immediately. You not only buy a home you can enjoy today, you are securing an extraordinary Old Naples address with possibilities that extend far beyond the finishes you're about to see. Come with me because this one deserves more than just a quick tour. Welcome to 742 11th Avenue South in Old Naples, Florida. I am Diana Villarreal, broker and CEO of Exclusive Homes. And if you are new to my channel, I don't want just show you beautiful houses. I want to help you understand why certain properties worth to pay attention to.
Today we are touring approximately 3,273 square feet of living space with 4 bedrooms, a private study, 4 full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms, multiple living rooms, a flexible upstairs guest retreat, and a beautiful southern exposure backyard with a pool and spa. All of it set on a rare home site of more than 10,000 square feet, the kind of Old Naples land that almost never comes to market. But we are going to begin with one feature you could spend hundreds of thousands of dollars remodeling a house and still never create: the location.
There is something different about living in Old Naples. And if you have experienced it, you know exactly what I mean. It's not just proximity.
It's a feeling of being connected to the lifestyle. You can spend the mornings near the Gulf, meet friends for lunch, enjoy the boutiques and restaurants downtown, come home and jump in your pool, and head back home for dinner. Picture your mornings here. The light comes in soft and golden, the air smells like salt and sunshine, you can hear the palms moving in the Gulf breeze, and the best part, this isn't a vacation you have to pack up and leave. This is simply your everyday. Your car doesn't have to dictate your entire day, and that becomes increasingly important when you're buying a luxury property. The biggest luxury isn't having more things, it's having more choices with your time. That's what location like this gives to you. And there's another reason buyers continue to pay attention to Old Naples. You can renovate a kitchen, you can change flooring, you can redesign a bathroom, but you can't renovate an address in Old Naples. Location is one luxury feature you cannot add later. Now let's go in and see the home.
Here is something very important to understand before we walk inside. The original residence dates to 1964. But don't make the mistake of judging this property by the date alone. The home was completely reconstructed in 2015 and completely remodeled again in 2021. And that is significant.
Because what you experience today is a home that combines an established Old Naples setting with a much more contemporary way of living. The architecture doesn't try too hard, it feels more relaxed, polished, comfortable. And that's exactly how luxury in Naples should feel. Not like you're afraid to touch anything, like you're ready to live. Let's go inside.
And look at this. The first thing I want you to notice isn't the countertop. It is the volume. These vacuum ceilings completely change the feeling of the entire living area.
You have the openness and natural flow. But this is important. The house doesn't feel like one enormous room without purpose. There are multiple living areas, spaces to gather, spaces to have conversations, spaces to entertain, and spaces where you can simply sit down and enjoy your home. And notice how the home feels the moment you step inside. The flooring is warm underfoot, the palette is soft, neutral, coastal. Nothing shouts for your attention. Everything simply breathes. In this beach-style living done with restraint. Warm woods, calm tones, natural light. It's polished but invites you to kick off your shoes and stay. Designed with real intention and full of character. Now look at the sightline. Your eye naturally moves towards the backyard. That's intentional. The kitchen, dining, and sitting areas overlook the southern exposed outdoor space, so that the pool and landscape aren't something you experience only when you walk outside. They are part of the home.
Imagine waking up here during the season. The doors are open. The weather is beautiful. Coffee is being made. Someone sitting here reading. And someone else is outside by the pool.
That's when the floor plan starts making sense. Because luxury isn't about square footage, it's about how much square footage makes you feel.
Now, this kitchen has a little attitude, and I love it. Let's start right here. The lacquer nude dual full range.
This isn't the appliance you hide.
This is the appliance you designed the kitchen around. It immediately gives the room character. But I don't want you to think that this whole kitchen, it is just about the statement pieces. Look at their functionality.
You have custom cabinetry, built-ins, a raised ceiling, a wet bar, and the substantial quartziled covered island right in the center.
And this is where real life happens. Yes, you have beautiful dining areas. But where is everybody end up? Right here.
Morning coffee, breakfast, wine with friends, someone cooking, someone sitting here talking, the kids or grandchildren coming through looking for something to eat. This island becomes the command central. And this is what I look for in a kitchen. Not simply, is it expensive? I want to know, does it make people want to gather? And this one does. And notice something else. If I'm cooking here, I'm still part of everything. I can see the living areas, I can talk to my guests, I can look directly towards the backyard. Nobody has to disappear into the kitchen while everyone else is enjoying the party. That's smart design.
And this is where the house becomes incredibly flexible. You aren't limited to one formal living room and one dining room that nobody uses except in Thanksgivings. This space can evolve around the way you live.
Maybe that becomes your formal conversation area. Maybe that's where you read. Maybe that's the place where the family gathers after dinner. And when you're entertaining everyone, you can move naturally between the kitchen, dining area, living spaces, and outdoors. Nothing feels separated. And that's going to become even more important when you see how the bedrooms are arranged.
But before we get there, this room solved the problem that I see in a lot of open concept homes. Where do you go when you actually need privacy? Here.
The dedicated study gives you a real room where you can close the door, work, take a Zoom call, read, manage investments, or simply disappear for an hour. And because this home already has 4 bedrooms, you're not sacrificing one of your guest rooms to create an office. That matters, especially if Naples becomes a house everyone suddenly wants to visit. And trust me, once your family knows you have a house in Old Naples with a pool, they're coming.
Now, we're entering into the owner's suite. And I want the energy of this tour to change here.
Because this part of the house should feel different. The entertaining spaces are social. This should feel private, quiet, personal. A place where at the end of your evening you can close the door and completely disconnect. And then we have the closet.
This custom design closet will give you the organization, design, comfort, space and storage we all dream of. Everything has a place, and those little details you don't really appreciate until you live them every day. Because luxury is not only about having more space. It's having the space and works beautifully. Here you encounter with nature. The owner's bath continues that philosophy.
You have a custom vanity, dual sinks, and a large shower. It's polished without being overdone. Functional without feeling ordinary. And when you put the bedroom, closets, and bathroom together, that simply doesn't feel like a primary bedroom. It feels like your primary retreat inside the home.
And here is something the buyers and families who entertain frequently are going to appreciate. There are 3 additional bedrooms, but they are no simple rooms when you put a bed. Each bedroom has its own en-suite bathroom and walk-in closet.
That completely changes the guest experience. Your adult children can visit, parents can stay, friends can come for a week, grandchildren can have their own space, nobody is sitting in the hallway waiting for a bathroom, nobody's living out of a suitcase, and nobody feels like they're invading someone else's space. That's important because if you're purchasing a home in Naples, there's a very good chance you are not only buying it for yourself, you are buying the place where people are going to gather. Christmas, birthdays, long weekends, spring break, family visits, memories. And this floor plan gives everyone privacy without disconnecting them from their home.
And just when you think you have seen all the flexibility, there is another space upstairs. Let's take a look. And the second floor guest area can become almost anything. A media room, a guest room, a fitness space or a second office, or even a game room or a mother-in-law suite.
Or an area for older children and grandchildren to completely take over when they're visiting, which might be exactly what you want. The important thing is separation.
Your guests can have their own environment, while your main place downstairs remains exactly the way you want it. Let's take a look at this hidden gem of this private retreat, which is an air-breathing balcony.
That's a luxury you don't really appreciate until you have a full house. And here's what truly sets the retreat apart. It isn't a bonus room upstairs, it works as its own private living quarters because it has its own separate kitchen and its own washer and dryer. Think about what that means. Your guests can make their morning coffee without ever coming downstairs. Extended family can stay for a whole season and still keep their independence. It's the privacy of a separate residence under the same roof as the people you love. That kind of flexibility is almost impossible to find in Old Naples. And before we head outside, let me show you the details most tours skip. Because luxury isn't only about the moments that impress your guests, it's about the small things that quietly make your life easier. Coming through the garage. Groceries, beach bags, everything. Straight to the heart of the home, no long walks, no fuss. There's a dedicated pool bath right here, so wet feet and sandy toes never travel through the house. There's real storage, a place for everything. These are the details you eventually stop noticing because they simply work. And that's exactly what a home should do.
And remember, this home also features a 2-car garage with direct access to the pool and the living areas. Now, I want you to imagine something before I open these doors. It is January, and your friends up north are sending you pictures of the snow, and you are about to walk outside to this.
This is why people move to Naples. Southern exposure, pool, spa, shelf stone decking, beautiful landscaping, and something that's becoming increasingly valuable in luxury neighborhoods, actual usable green space. Look at how much room you have. The pool doesn't consume the entire backyard. You have people swimming here, someone relaxing in the spa, lunch outside, kids or grandchildren playing, your dog running around, and you still don't feel crowded. That's a major distinction. And look at the space you have right here. There's room to build a full outdoor kitchen. Picture it, a grill, a bar, friends gathered around while dinner cooks in the open air. Your home gives the pool, the spa, and the shelf stone deck today. And the room to make your backyard entirely your own tomorrow.
And now just imagine, you're not in vacation. It is a Tuesday. You just finished your morning and you came walking through downtown to this beautiful home.
This is where you spend your afternoon. That's where the psychology of purchases changes. Because you're no longer asking, do I like this pool? You're asking, what would I want my life to look like if I was in this home? That's the question I want you to ask when you're touring luxury real estate. Because you're not buying countertops and bedrooms, you are buying the life these rooms allow you to live. Now let me give you what I believe is the most important takeaway from this property. Most buyers look at the home and ask, do I like this house? A strategic buyer asks a second question, what am I actually securing? Here you are securing two things. First, a reconstructed and remodeled Old Naples residence you can enjoy today. 4 private bedroom suites, dedicated office, chef's kitchen, multiple gathering spaces, flexible upstairs retreat, pool and spa, and a lifestyle that's ready right now. But you're also securing something that cannot be remodeled, manufactured, or moved.
The home site and address will change. The styles will change. This door will take you directly into the garage. And this one is your pool bath. 20 years from now, the kitchens may look different, but this piece of land will always be seen in Old Naples. And that's why I think this property should be evaluated through 2 lenses.
What does it give me today, and what am I securing for tomorrow? That's the opportunity. And that's one more thing a strategic buyer pays attention to. Everything happens around this address. Downtown Naples is growing. New restaurants, new shops, new energy on every corner. And this home sits right in the middle of it. So you're not only buying into Old Naples as it is today, you're buying into everything Naples is becoming. At first, you'll notice the beautiful kitchen, the vaulted ceilings, the owner's suite, the pool. But after spending time here, I think you begin to notice something else. You can actually picture your life. Coffee around the island, friends coming for dinner, family staying in their own suites, grandchildren upstairs, afternoons by the pool, walking or out for dinner in Old Naples, sunsets over the Gulf, bare feet on warm floors, the house going quiet at the end of the day, coming home, closing the door, and realizing you don't need to be anywhere else. And that's what the right property does. It stops feeling like someone else's house, and for a moment, you can start imagining it as yours.
And if you feel yourself during the touring of this video, don't stop in YouTube. Come and experience it. Because a property like this, it needs to be walked. You need to stand underneath of these vacuum ceilings.
You need to see the Lacrone kitchen in person, walk through the owner's suite, step into the backyard, and most importantly, experience what the location actually feels like.
Contact me directly, and I will arrange a private tour or 742 11th Avenue South. And if you are considering Old Naples, but you aren't sure if this is the right property, that is exactly where I am coming in. I'll help you to compare the home site, the location, and the alternatives so you don't simply buying something beautiful.
You're making a smart real estate decision. I am Diana Villarreal, broker and CEO of Exclusive Homes. Subscribe for more luxury property tours and real estate strategy throughout Naples and Southwest Florida. And remember, a beautiful home gets your attention, the right lifestyle makes you stay. I'll see you on the next tour. This courtesy is listing of Daniel Macera of Keller Williams Realty Naples.